My beloved child, today I come to you with a message of hope and comfort. In this video, we will explore the truth that you are never alone in your struggles, for I am always by your side. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by life's challenges, wondering if anyone truly understands your pain? Or have you questioned my presence during times of hardship? Today, we will discover together the depth of my love and commitment to you. If you feel this connection and want to strengthen your faith, write in the comments, "I trust in you." Let us, as a community, spread this message of love and hope. My precious one, I want you to know that I see every tear you shed, every silent prayer you utter, and every burden you carry. When you feel alone in your fight, remember the words I spoke in Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. These are not mere words, but a promise, a covenant between us. I am the God who parts seas, moves mountains, and breathes life into dust. Do you think I would abandon you in your time of need? Never, my child. Never. Let me remind you of the story of Elijah, one of my faithful prophets. In 1 Kings, chapter 19, verses 1 through 18, we see Elijah at his lowest point. He had just won a great victory against the prophets of Baal. But when Queen Jezebel threatened his life, fear gripped his heart. He ran into the wilderness, feeling alone and defeated. He even asked me to take his life, believing he was the only faithful one left. But what did I do? Did I leave him in his despair? No, my child. I sent an angel to care for him, providing food and water. I spoke to him in a gentle whisper, reassuring him of my presence and my plan. I showed Elijah that he was not alone. There were still 7,000 in Israel who had not bowed to Baal. You see, my beloved, even my mightiest servants have felt alone in their struggles, but I never abandoned them, and I will never abandon you. When you feel isolated in your fight, remember the words of the psalmist in Psalm 34, verse 18. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. I am not a distant God, watching from afar. I am right there with you, in the midst of your pain, your confusion, your fear. Think about the times when you felt most alone. Perhaps it was late at night, when the world was asleep, and your thoughts were your only company. Or maybe it was in a crowded room, where you felt invisible and misunderstood. In those moments, I was there. My hand was on your shoulder. My love was surrounding you, even if you couldn't feel it. Remember, my child, that your feelings, while valid, do not always reflect reality. You may feel alone, but you are never truly alone. As I promised in Matthew chapter 28, verse 20, "And behold, I am with you always, to the end of the age." Let me share with you the story of Hagar, found in Genesis chapter 16. Hagar was a servant girl, pregnant and alone in the wilderness, fleeing from mistreatment. She felt abandoned, hopeless, and utterly alone. But I saw her. I comforted her. I provided for her. And in that moment of divine encounter, she gave me a name that still brings comfort to countless souls. El Roi, the God who sees. My child, I am El Roi to you as well. I see you in your struggle. I see the battles you fight that no one else knows about. I see the tears you cry when no one is watching. I see the strength it takes for you to face each day. And I want you to know, I am so proud of you. When you feel alone in your fight against addiction, remember the words of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape that you may be able to endure it. You are not alone in this battle, and with my strength you will overcome. When anxiety and depression cloud your mind and you feel isolated in a dark place, hold on to the truth of Psalm 23, verses 4 to 5. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. I am with you in the darkest valleys, and I will lead you to green pastures. When financial struggles make you feel like you're fighting a losing battle all alone, remember my promise in Philippians chapter 4, verse 19. And my God will supply every need of yours according to his riches and glory in Christ Jesus. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and I will provide for you, my beloved child. When relationships break and you feel abandoned and betrayed, cling to the truth of Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. People may leave, but I am your constant companion, your eternal friend. When sickness invades your body and you feel alone in your suffering, remember the words of Psalm 103, verses 2-3. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits, who forgives all your iniquity, who heals all your diseases. I am the God who heals, and I am with you in every moment of your pain and recovery. My child, do you remember the story of Daniel in the lion's den? In Daniel chapter 6, we see a man who stood firm in his faith, even when it meant facing certain death. He was thrown into a den of hungry lions, alone and seemingly abandoned. But was he truly alone? No, my beloved, I was there with him. I shut the mouths of the lions and delivered him unharmed. You too may feel like you're in a den of lions, surrounded by problems that threaten to devour you. But just as I was with Daniel, I am with you. Your lions may look different. They may be financial troubles, health issues, relationship problems, or inner demons. But my power to deliver you remains the same. Remember also the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in Daniel chapter 3. These three young men stood against an entire empire, refusing to bow to false gods. They were thrown into a fiery furnace, facing what seemed to be certain death. But they were not alone. In Daniel chapter 3, verses 24-25, we read, Then King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished and rose up in haste. He declared to his counselors, Did we not cast 3 men bound into the fire? They answered and said to the king, Tushji, my child, just as I was in the fire with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, I am with you in your fiery trials. The heat of your struggles may be intense, but you will not be consumed, for I am with you. When you feel alone in your fight for justice, remember the words of Micah chapter 6, verse 8. He has told you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. As you stand for what is right, know that I stand with you. When you feel alone in your efforts to make a difference in this world, hold on to the truth of Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Your labor is not in vain, for I see every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every sacrifice made in love. My beloved, when you feel alone in your spiritual journey, remember the beautiful promise I gave through the prophet Zephaniah. In Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 17, it is written, The Lord your God is in your midst, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you by his love. He will exult over you with loud singing. Can you imagine it, my child? I, the creator of the universe, sing over you with joy. You are never alone, for my love surrounds you always. Let me remind you of the story of Mary Magdalene at the empty tomb, as recorded in John chapter 20. She came to the tomb, grieving and alone, thinking she had lost not only her Lord, but now even his body. In her sorrow, she didn't recognize me at first. But when I called her name, Mary, her eyes were opened, and she realized she was not alone. I was there, alive and present. My child, I call your name too. In your moments of deepest sorrow, listen for my voice. I am calling you, reminding you that you are not alone. I have conquered death itself to be with you. Remember also the disciples on the road to Emmaus, as told in Luke chapter 24. They walked along discouraged and confused, thinking all hope was lost. They didn't realize that I was walking right beside them. When their eyes were finally opened, they said to each other, Did not our hearts burn within us while he talked to us on the road, while he opened to us the scriptures? Luke 24:32. My beloved, even when you don't recognize my presence, I am walking beside you on your journey. Your heart may burn with a passion you can't explain. That's me, speaking to your spirit, reminding you that you're not alone. As we near the end of our time together today, I want to leave you with a few more thoughts to carry with you. Your struggles do not define you. My love for you does. When you feel alone in your fight, remember that you are first and foremost my beloved child. Your weakness is an opportunity for my strength to shine. As I told Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. The community of believers is a gift I've given you. Reach out to your brothers and sisters in Christ. As it says in Galatians chapter 6, verse 2, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Your prayers are precious to me. Even when you feel your words are inadequate, know that I hear every cry of your heart. Romans chapter 8, verse 26 assures us, likewise, the Spirit helps us in our weakness, for we do not know what to pray for as we ought, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words. This season of struggle will not last forever. Hold on to the promise of 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 10, and after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, who has called you to His eternal glory in Christ, will Himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. My precious child, as we conclude our time together, I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Feel my presence surrounding you. You are not alone in your fight. You have never been alone, and you will never be alone. Remember, when the night seems darkest, dawn is just around the corner. When the battle seems fiercest, victory is within reach. When your strength is failing, my power is made perfect in your weakness. You are my beloved. You are my chosen. You are never, ever alone. If this message has touched your heart, I invite you to share it with others who may be feeling alone in their struggles. Subscribe to this channel for daily reminders of my love and presence in your life. And remember, no matter what you're going through, I am with you always, to the very end of the age. Go forth with courage, my child. You are not alone in the fight. I am with you, and together we are unstoppable.